I never used to mind KSI. I used to think he was alright until he revealed himself as an agent of the Matrix. He used to like Andrew Tate, then all of a sudden he 180'd as soon as Andrew Tate was cancelled. But this is not an Andrew Tate video. This is a video talking about KSI's horrendous technique. KSI recently put up a training video of him doing some questionable form on certain lifts. What makes this situation worse is that he's got a personal trainer coaching him through the movements and he's still doing them wrong. Now, I've been a personal trainer for 12 years. You should know that by now. Come on, I go on about it in every single video. And I can honestly say, without a doubt, even when I first started as a personal trainer, I would never get clients to do anything as bad as this, what you're about to see. But whoever KSI has hired to be his coach, I'm sorry to say this, I don't mean to put the lad out of business. I support PTs who are making their own way, self-employed life, I understand. But KSI, you need to get rid of this coach. You're going to end up hurting yourself. Let's watch some awfulness take place. I'll just say before this video starts, there's a difference between partial range of motion strength and full range of motion strength. If you want to know what I'm talking about, go and watch this video in here. I actually think it's one of my best training videos that I've done.
Alright, so first, I normally do a little warm-up, about 100 calories done here. Takes me about 7 minutes. Yeah, just get the body moving, get the body warmed up.
Okay, nothing particularly wrong with that cardio warm-up. I'd rather my clients and members of my Natural Physique Academy just warm up with a dynamic warm-up or the movement itself, rather than just burning calories on a cardio machine, especially before you're doing strength training. It's just not worth the energy expenditure that you're wasting on the cardio equipment to then just go on to a strength training movement. The only thing that this really does is get the blood flowing and increases the body temperature a little bit, which you can do with the movement itself or a basic dynamic warm-up and spend less energy on it.
Let's get some lifting going on. Woo! Alright, so
Let's
this
see
is
a KSI
stability drill, overhead squats. I'll show you how it's done.
Okay, so it's a 25 kilogram warm-up. I actually thought it was 25 kilograms each side at first when I seen those plates, because it says 2.5, but I didn't realize it's 2.5. 25 kilogram warm-up. Usually a telltale sign that someone is weak is even with the lighter weights, they have restricted mobility and they're not going all the way down through a full range of motion on a particular lift. Whereas some people actually start with a light weight, do a full range of motion, then as they get heavier, do less and less range of motion. KSI here is starting with a bad range of motion. So it's either he's really restricted and has got tight ankles, tight hips, no hip mobility, no shoulder mobility, or he's just being taught wrong. And I actually think it's the latter. He just hasn't been taught the technique. We can take a look here at his knees. They're collapsing in. His knees should be out over his toes. Instead, they're actually translating on the inside of his foot, which is not good. If you draw in a straight line down, the knee is not even over his foot. You need external rotation of the knees. You need to push the knees out. The arms are bent. The torso is too upright. An overhead squat, you should be leaning forward into it with your arms back, almost over your upper back. Right. So there's the range of motion for you right there, pretty much. So it is miles off a full parallel squat. And here we've got the coaches watching over them. Now, telltale sign that the coaches don't know what they're doing is they're actually looking at the weights up here rather than looking down here at his hips, making sure that he's going to a full depth. Come on, coaches, you should be looking at the actual depth, not up here, eyes low.
All right, these are front squats. Some of you obviously know that. This is just for stability, core, making sure I'm nice and strong, and I look great as well. This is 100 now.
Okay, 100 kilogram front squat. This is the first set, and look at the depth already. You're nowhere near parallel. That's really poor depth. You'll actually get worse joints from doing it this way. 120. So once again, you've got coaches who are actually putting KSI's safety at risk because they're increasing the weight more and more, despite the fact that his technique isn't even on point from the first set. If KSI was my client, I'd just tell him, no, look, we can't be doing half rep squats on the video, because then that's my reputation at stake.
120, Jesus. I'm strong, you know.
Not really, not really.
It's wrecked. He's getting destroyed. All my opponents getting destroyed. All of them. This little nerd's getting hench, yeah.
And to be fair, you know, KSI has made some decent gains, but that is largely down to him having good genetics. So when you've got good genetics, and if you're on steroids, it doesn't really matter what you do. You can train wrong and actually make more progress than someone who is natural with average genetics, training perfectly. Okay, 140, this should not be happening right now. He's already unstable. And I don't even really like this front racked position, especially for the beginner. I'd prefer getting a beginner to go in a full racked position. This is too unstable, whereas this is a lot more secure. He shouldn't even be doing this, man. Yeah, that's it. Cameraman, zoom in so we can't see the terrible, crappy depth. That's bad. Wow. Look, the bar is moving about 6 inches total. It's going from here to there, so we know that he's barely even moving. Let me see the full depth, cameraman.
Good job, walking down.
Are you messing?
I remember I did this.
Okay, so yeah, we didn't see the full depth. Instead of actually showing the lift, we shown KSI's face as he's doing the personal best. Imagine me going for like a 140 kilogram bench press, which I've hit before. Insert clip. And you're only filming me face. That's no proof that the lift ever happened with good technique, that is.
With Ethan, and Ethan was better than me at this. Not anymore, fam.
No. Oh, no, not 160. Are you messing? Right, okay. I need to see this. I've only seen clips, guys. This is actually the first time I'm seeing this full video. I haven't seen him do 160, though. This is going to be interesting. Okay, already massively unstable. Okay, also, do you notice something else that he done wrong there? He didn't actually take a deep breath in to brace for the squat. He actually breathed out on the way down. He let all of his air out. Now, that's important for core stability. What you're meant to do on a squat is at the top, before you initiate the lift, you're meant to go, take a big gulp of air into your stomach, hold, brace, tense the core, and then go down, hold your breath, and then breathe out on the way up. He's just stepped out with the weight, went shh, 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 and then right before he went to squat, went shh, and blew out even more air. Now he is completely unstable. Let's actually just watch that again so you can see what I mean. Ready? That's an exhale. That's also an exhale. So he done 2 big exhales before the lift, and then that's the depth that he hit. That's not good at all, and you can see there was a lot of instability at the bottom. His knees translated forward, his hips rocked back and forward a little bit. The bar is also very uneven. It's like completely wonky. Not to mention, the 2 spotters, the 2 coaches, have actually got hold of the weight for him. Even simply by touching the bar, you'd be surprised at how much that actually helps you. Outstanding. Outstanding. Not at all.
Tight grip, tight everything.
Right, now this is ridiculous. I know it looks a little bit weird. What the hell has he got under his t-shirt? It's either a rolled up mat or what we call a pussy pad or a block of foam, and it's so the bar actually lands on your chest a little bit softer. The reason why he has to use this is because he doesn't have the strength to control the eccentric part of the movement, so it's protecting his chest and allows for a softer landing on his chest. It's because he can't do the weight. You should not need a big block of foam on your chest to do a bench press. First off, it's providing padding, which you don't need, and it means that you can't control the eccentric portion of the rep. Secondly, it might give you a little bit of spring to press off as well, or even worse, it'll actually take out the leg drive from the movement, because if you use any leg drive on the bench press, that power isn't going to be able to translate through your legs and into your chest and into the bar anymore, because now you've got a piece of foam between your chest and the bar. We are meant to pull power from our legs using the leg drive and from our glutes that then translates into the chest and boom, powers the bar off our chest. Okay, watch this.
3, 2.
We've got 130 on the bench. My personal best is 140 kilograms. It took me years to get there, and I'm a good bench presser. KSI cannot do anywhere near this weight.
That's your bar. Down. Work. Speed up. Easy. Fucking hell. Easy, guys. All right, 130.
Yeah, easy when you're spotting it and doing a bicep curl with it. Look at how much the coach actually helps with the press.
2, 1, up.
He's got a tight grip. Look, he's got a tight grip. Look, see? Nope.
Easy, guys.
Doesn't count. I'm willing to put money on this. I don't think KSI can bench press 100 kilograms for 1 rep, all by himself, full range of motion, touching his chest, 1 second pause, and pressing with no spotter. I don't think he's got 100 kilograms in him, yet he's doing 130. Take that piece of crappy foam out of your t-shirt, drop down to 80, 85, maybe 90 kilograms, and do sets of 3 to 6 with that weight until you can eventually build up to 100 kilograms and you can get reps on that. Also, why are you doing 1 rep maxes? You don't need to do 1 rep maxes. Okay to test your strength, but you've clearly displayed that you don't have the competence to lift the weights that you're choosing to lift here.
All right, 130. Got a PB just for you lot, people. Enjoy. Alright, so this is just maintenance work, just to keep the strain in my legs.
He said this is maintenance work to keep the strain in his legs, yet he's doing a back movement.
Everything nice, flowing nice and easy.
You've got to remember that a lot of this knowledge probably comes from the coaches who are training him right now. So I can't even really blame him. He's just doing what he's told from the other coaches.
60, this is mid rows.
Mid rows, there's no such thing as mid rows. He must mean middle of the back rows, which even still then, a barbell row just hits all of your back. Okay, boom. Comment down below what you can see wrong with this image. If you look like an angry cat when you're doing deadlifts of any sort, any deadlift variation, or a barbell row, then you're going to hurt yourself. Your spinal vertebrae are completely exposed because you are not in a flat back position with all your lower back, your erector spinae contracted, nice and tight. Everything is rounded and hunched. Now, you will see some people deadlift and row with a rounded back, but a lot of the time it will be a rounded mid or upper back, not a rounded lower back. KSI's got a rounded lower back here, and also KSI isn't an advanced lifter or a power lifter. Power lifters will round the upper back because they've built enough muscle, enough strength, and enough nervous system efficiency to be able to do so.
Obviously your boy is doing a lot of sparring, doing a lot of running, doing a lot of cardio, doing a lot of bag work, etc. So stuff like this to help me, you know, maintain my body, to make sure I don't get injured, make sure I have that tension in, keep it injury free and stop me from getting hurt. So.
And for anyone out there who might be thinking, Shaun, leave him alone, he's not a weightlifter, he's mainly a fighter now. This is all coming from a lifetime kickboxer. I got into lifting weights and personal training because I was a martial artist, a kickboxer first. I started lifting weights to complement my training of martial arts. So I know exactly how you should lift to complement fighting. And this, my friends, is not it.
Yeah, that's why it's good to do some maintenance work. But then obviously being able to do a few PBs left, right and center, just to gain a bit of strength as well is also important. I've got to mention, this is me basically near the end of camp, so I'm starting to peak. So I wouldn't be doing these numbers at the beginning of camp. We'll be slowly, you know, increasing it, slowly getting better and stronger to the point where I'm at now, where I'm peaking and you're seeing like the best of me, so that when I get in that ring, I'm just an animal. And
let me just say, this is no hate to KSI. I believe that everyone has their own starting points and we all make progress at our own rates. But the numbers that he's actually pushing here aren't really crazy, especially on the rows, the barbell rows, 60 kilograms. It's not really that crazy. Now, the squat and bench press, he shouldn't be doing anywhere near those numbers. But he said he's just starting to peak. What he needs to do is strip all the weights back. At his level right now, he shouldn't be worried about peaking. He needs to develop a baseline level of technique first.
no one can stop me. This is close grip pull-ups for the lats. So boom, we'll do 5 each side. Extra 20.
The reason why I hate these pull-ups is because it's just unnecessary. Why do you need to do the close grip here and go up to this side and then up to this side? This extra movement to the side does nothing for your lats. It does nothing for your biceps. It does not change anything. If anything, it'll get you less gains because you can use less weight and get less reps because it's more fatiguing.
Extra 20. Just to make my life a little harder.
Now, this is also another bad idea. Having chains around your neck, it looks hardcore, it looks badass. You get a few pictures and videos like that. Oh my God, he looks sick. He's got a chain around his neck doing pull-ups. It's the most impractical thing ever. Think about it this way. Doing a close grip means your elbows are tighter together. Now, what happens when we go into a full extension of our shoulder at the top? Your biceps, your arms are right by your ears. When you hit that full extension, you've got a big blocky chain around your neck and your shoulders. It's going to dig in. Do you know how I know this? Because I've tried it myself years ago. It's not practical at all. It's not hardcore. It's actually worse because you actually can't lift as much weight. That's a 20 kilogram chain. He can do the chin-ups, but if he actually just got a weight belt and strapped 30 kilograms to that weight belt down there in between his legs and then switched to an underhand grip chin up instead, he'd probably be able to do 30 kilograms. It'd actually get him more gains, more strength, and it's a better range of motion. See what I mean? Just incredibly awkward.
Strong KSI. sexy.
The ab exercises he done, they're not too bad, they're alright, but crunches aren't really going to get you a six-pack, they're not really even going to condition your abs. The better thing for KSI to do would be to do some weighted crunches, like cable weighted crunches, or some hang and leg raises, because these are a fuller range of motion. It's still doing the exact same thing that a crunch is doing, but through a larger range of motion with added weight to it, which means you can progressively overload it better. And that's KSI's training video. Listen, if you're watching this, KSI, sack your coaches. My name's Shaun Jones. I've been a personal trainer for 12 years. I've trained in kickboxing, MMA, karate, kung fu, pretty much my entire life. So I know how you're meant to lift weights in order to complement your explosive athleticism when it comes to fighting. If you continue doing these things, I promise you, you will get injured. And for the 0.01% this video blows up and you see it, let's book a date, get me down to wherever you are, and I'll take you through the best exercises and the best workout that's actually going to complement your boxing and keep you injury free. Maybe we could even have a little spar as well, and you can beat me up for my YouTube channel. You gotta respect the lad, he's putting the work in, but these personal trainers don't know what they're doing. Listen, thanks for all the love, guys. We've just hit 5,000 subscribers. I never actually envisioned the channel growing this fast. I always thought it was going to be maybe 5 subscribers here, 2 subscribers there, but I fully appreciate you. Thank you so much for tuning in. I upload content like this every single day, workout content every Wednesday, and daily YouTube shorts. So I'm uploading 21 times a week, putting in that hustle, putting in that grind. Help me get to 10,000 subscribers. I want to do 100,000 this year. This has been a goal of mine for so long. I just kept putting it off and putting it off. So I'm absolutely on a mission right now. Thanks again, people. I'll see you tomorrow.